Travis Kelce, the question he asked to the media yesterday at Super Bowl's Radio Row, which I heard is like a shell of itself right now in New Orleans. Hopefully it picks up tomorrow and Thursday as well. I think part of the reason this narrative that Adam Schefter has echoed, many of other sports media professionals, including those on Russo and Rizzo, they did a whole show about it, have continued to fuel the fire for, that the NFL is pulling for the Chiefs, that the referees are cheating in favor of Patrick Mahomes. That whole narrative, I think a lot of it derives from the fact of what you just said. Like, people have exhausted everything they have that they could say about the Chiefs. So now they're pulling from Reddit threads and Twitter, verified users that are, paid subscribers, as well as maybe just the back ends of their mind that try to give them some kind of resolve in why are we seeing the same result time after time after time. I was curious as to why it was happening. You might have answered that question, but Travis Kelce asked a similar one to the media today, and I don't think they had a retort.
If I could ask the media one question, why are you guys leaning into this whole ref thing? You know what I mean? Like, why are you guys leaning into it? That's all I got, though.
I agree with Travis in this point. I think that media members that do lean in on this, they kind of need to answer for it, because you're supposed to be the adult in the room if you're a media professional. You're supposed to be the person that is checks and balances. That is, of course, you can be a fan and you can have your fun and you can go off the beaten path. But, like, when they see people like Schefter alluding to it, and even on a smaller scale on some of these talk shows, a lot of it on FS1 was like ridiculous. It's a lot better on ESPN.
Or on YouTube. I mean, you go on a YouTube channel and some people are making a living off of farming for views after talking about these calls even a week after the fact.
It's engagement farming is part of what it is, but the issue is there used to be journalistic ethics that I believe are taught in J school, and maybe the door has just been too broad and open to people that have not gone through the process. Because I do believe, again, you have a responsibility as a professional member of the media to not feed into conspiracy theories like that, unless you're on Theoretically Speaking, and we have a segment coming soon where we at least alert the audience that these are all.
There's an official disclaimer.
These are all. You have to have a disclaimer. Do you think that, like, some of these guys, I mean, again, I don't think anybody's done anything too rash, too horrible, but even Roger Goodell spoke to the media yesterday, and he kind of seemed a little ticked off about it. And we don't have to play that now, but he's not ticked off about it, but almost like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on right here? Why is that a narrative or a story when we have other things on the field we could be talking about?
Yeah, I mean, and like in that back and forth of Roger Goodell that we'll play soon here, it is kind of like, yeah, I know the media is not promoting this, but you are adding fuels to the fire by attaching your name, your following, your credentials to the entertaining the theory that it could be true.
Right.
Because no, I do not think that these games are on the furthest end of the spectrum rigged. Even further to the left in the spectrum, I don't think the refs are pulling for the Chiefs in these games at all. I think it's annoying for fans to watch a 50-50 call go the Chiefs' way because it justifies their feeling that, another Chiefs Super Bowl. It's annoying. We've seen it, and it comes at the expense of my favorite team, or it comes at the expense of a team that I'm rooting for that is likable. It's annoying to see, for sure.
Yeah, but I think that's why Travis Kelce directed his ire at the media, because it's natural for players on the team to cry, it was the refs. We've been doing this since we were kids, right? In youth league, when the refs are actually, sometimes really bad, you blame it on the refs. You lose a game, there was one or two calls that could have went your way that didn't, you blame it on the refs. Coaches teach that out of you the further you get up in levels, because you cannot control what the referees do. You can only control what you do on the playing field. So it's good practice to try and ignore those kind of factors. Now, somebody should have taught that to the damn Houston Texans, because after their first game with the Chiefs, I wonder if it was because they were so emboldened by all of the hype around it before the game, or maybe they were just in their feelings in that locker room. But wasn't it a little weird to see so many players, and even it felt like DeMeco Ryans allude to the referees playing a bigger factor in that game, in which the Texans didn't really seem like they were in it from the first place?
It is so much easier to confront a reason why you fell short with something outside of your control.
Yeah.
Rather than, I just need to be faster, or, I just need to have better hands, or, I just need to be stronger. That's a harder reality and a harsh reality to confront and overcome and justify than, oh, the refs had it in for me. Like, there's nothing I could have done. I could have been the fastest man on the field, strongest guy on the field. It wouldn't have mattered because the script was there. The memo was sent out to the refs. That's a lot easier of a reality to kind of come to terms with as a competitor.
It's a lack of accountability is what it is, and that's why I also, even when Patrick Mahomes did it, everybody keeps on alluding back to that one moment Mahomes had with Josh Allen last year in the regular season. When I believe it was Kadarius Toney was offsides.
Yes.
And it was the Travis Kelce catches it deep, pitches it back to Toney. He runs it in for a touchdown. That was the play that the Chiefs had the Bills beat on, and the refs called the offside, so Kadarius Toney.
And he talked while handshaking Josh Allen.
Yeah, he was like, that was complete BS.
Yeah, exactly. Freaking terrible.
Yeah.
While Josh is trying to say good game, and it was very bad to look with the camera in his face.
Terrible
He
look.
continued into the post-game pressure, complaining about the referees as well.
Terrible look, and I do believe Patrick Mahomes, oftentimes he's generally done the right thing, said the right thing. When the Chiefs were dropping those footballs left and right on him and letting him down between MVS and Kadarius Toney, and it was just like one of those hilarious stats where it seemed like as great as he would play, his receiving core was letting him down. He never blamed him. He never pointed the finger. He never pulled the Ben Roethlisberger, the Aaron Rodgers. He stayed cool, stayed calm, stayed collected. I want to give him one bit of leeway here, a little bit of an excuse. I have less of a problem with Mahomes doing that because I think two things were happening. He had a huge internal built-up frustration because he knew his guys were letting him down. And the second part of that is he was never able to vent that out. So the whole season, he's like, damn it. Why the hell is Kadarius Toney still on this football team? Why am I forced to throw the damn ball to Sky Moore and Marquez Valdez-Scantling? Internally, that's what he's thinking, but he has to sit in front of a mic and say, you know, we just tried our best, and I got to be better today. And then finally, there was somebody he could blame that wasn't wearing a Chiefs uniform, and he let it all out.
So it's a guy at work who's having problems in his relationship, and he stomachs it, he deals with it, and then he's bottling up all that emotion. You get to your desk, you sit down, someone, hey, can you make a copy? No, no, get out. Or maybe it's the other way around.
No, yes, but I don't. That's uncomfortable discussing the other way around.
Yeah. That's why I did that way.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you for posing it that way, but I do believe that's what that was. And also, C-Cat, it's funny because the more and more you grow, the older you get, the more perspective you get, the more people you interact with, and the more people you have to work cohesively with, the more I generally approach each person with that kind of perspective. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you just had going on this morning. I don't know what news you might have just got on the phone with somebody. I also don't know, like you said, if you've been in just constant conflict with your wife or your husband. Because I never thought